recording it because I already know it's going to be fire. Is the record on? Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Hold on. All right, you guys. Happy Sunday family time call. My name is Orlando. This is Kylie, a.k.a. Kylando, for those of you who didn't know. By now, you probably should. We're here in snowy, frozen tundra-like Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's about 18 degrees or less. Hella snow on the ground, but everything's no problem. My name is Orlando. I'm going to tell my story first, like I said. So just real quick about myself. We're currently global expansion team, and we've been doing Herbalife now for 4 years. Come January 20th will be our Herbiversary, so we're super fired up about that. We'll probably go to Applebee's and get the Fiesta Lime Chicken just because. For those of you who know our story about the, our income, y'all know all about the Fiesta Lime Chicken at Applebee's. But anyways, I was an ex-college athlete. I was struggling to gain weight. I was 145 pounds soaking wet. And I was able to find Herbalife off of Instagram, actually, through my cousin LL with the chain right there on the on the video, Stephen Crawford. I was flipping through after, my set of two 25s on the side of the bench. After my set, I was feeling swole. And I found him on Instagram, and I saw his before and after, and I was like, wow, like, he was just as skinny as I was. We was running around the streets of Kenosha, eating all the fatty foods, pizzas, Little Caesars, whatever was in the fridge, you name it, we got it. And so I started my nutrition plan, and within 6 months, I was able to go ahead and gain 30 pounds of lean muscle. I dropped my body fat from 30% down to 15. The energy that I was having with the products was crazy. The relationship between Kylie and I at the time was good. But now, through the process of personal development and, the lifestyle that we're able to transition into, like, the relationship is as great as me being able to go ahead and make her my fiance. So that's what happened, in the speed of things in the 4 years, which is something that I personally am truly grateful on Herbalife, besides like the income, besides the crazy results that we're able to get. So, man, Herbalife is cracking. I'm going to go ahead and let Kylie share hers.
Awesome. Hey, guys. My name is Kylie, like he said. So we're coming up on 4 years, which is crazy how fast it's happened. But when we had started, I didn't think I needed to lose any weight, but really my mindset was extremely negative. But I put on a ton of weight in college. I got my social work degree. And my dream job was to be a child protection worker at the county in Green Bay. So I got a job out of college. I worked in child protection for 3.5 years. And also in the process, I lost 20 pounds, tons of pant sizes. But I wanted to focus on that piece today just because so thankful for Herbalife. I've now not had to clock into that stressful job for a year and about 3 months. Orlando quit his job in August. We own a nutrition club in Green Bay, but it's super awesome to have this opportunity to be able to help people know that there's more to life than the 9 to 5. The workers that I worked at the county in child protection, now I'm like gathering them all to come to our nutrition club, and they come as like the stressful, they're having a terrible day, and they come to our club to get that 30 minutes of peace, of the energy that we know through Herbalife we can help people with and find their confidence. So it's been awesome now. And now our goal is to really just take over the community and help other people know that there's more to life than the 9 to 5 job. And I know half the team is from the Midwest, and it's a hard area here where people don't think there's much more past that, but we're really shifting the focus here to help people realize that here, and it's been awesome. So that's our story there.
Awesome. So for any new people on the line, basically what we also like to do is open up the floor for shares, for highlights, for some things that positivity only remember, things that happened that, truly, inspired you, whatever it may be. And we also have some people on here that had an STS. So our monthly STSs that we attend every single month because we're trying to be great. So if you guys want to go ahead and unmute yourself, we'll go ahead.
Can I go?
Yes, Adrian, let's go, bro.
Okay, so it's the handsome dreadhead. So I'm grateful for being prepared for what I didn't know I was going to be super prepared for. A girl told me today I was going to be a stupid, dope father. And I'm going to tell you why she said that. Because last week I missed church. I don't know if y'all saw it on my story. I missed church because a kid at like 11 p.m. at night, before we was closing my restaurant down, him and his dad was watching a hockey game, and he took like 20 minutes to ask me a simple question, in which he should have asked me when he first saw me. But he said, "Mr. Adrian, can you go to my hockey game tomorrow? It's our last game, and if we win, we go to the finals," or something like that. I looked at the time and I said, "What in the world? Bro, like tomorrow at what time?" He said, "Well, how early do you get up?" And I said, "Well, shoot, like 7 usually." And he said, "Well, it's at 8. So can you come?" And I was like, "So you telling me I'm gonna miss church for your hockey game?" And then he sat there in silence. I said, "Look, all right, if you win and I miss church, I'll be good. But if you lose, we both getting struck." So then the little kid was like, "Okay, we'll win." Long story short, I went to his hockey game that morning, woke up. I missed church for this little kid because I felt like it was on my heart to actually go and pour into him. And went to the game. He won. We were stupid excited. We turned up with each other. We took a little picture with each other. But the fact that I went out of my way, especially within that time frame, for someone that's not my child, goes to show how like crazy I'm about to be for my actual child. So her telling me that today was like stupid dope, and I was grateful to hear that because everybody know who has a doggone kid, like everything up to it. You like, oh my gosh. So her letting me know that was just dope.
Awesome. I did see that on your Instagram, by the way, Adrian. We'll talk about that later. That was dope. Appreciate you, bro. Anybody next?
Yo, I say yo. Thomas Hicks, Racine, Wisconsin. First of all, I'm excited just for the simple fact that I got to kick it with my little brother after the event. I'm kind of going to go backwards here, but I got to kick it with my little brother after the event. Just took him home, but before I took him home, he wanted to go get something to eat. And so while we were out, of course, I was branded, got a new contact, got the lady's Facebook, gave her a business card because, you know, even though it's newer times, those still exist. So that happened. Now to rewind a little bit, also, I brought somebody to the STS, and honestly, on the way up there, it started positive. By the way, his name was Sergio. It started positive on the way up there, and then like halfway to the STS, he was like, "I'm not going to be selling shakes, man. I'm not like you guys. All you guys do, this is same thing that they were kind of saying on stage," which leads me to my next point. We get to the STS with Billy Grubbs, and the man just spit straight fire. I honestly felt like none of these guys on this call was actually in the building because I was like, you know, the only one. Like, I felt like he was talking directly to me here. And it was funny because I was talking to a sideline, and some of the stuff that I was telling her, honestly, he just kind of clarified while we were on stage. And some of the points that I took away is honestly showing up for yourself. You can't show up for anybody else until you show up for yourself. And a lot of times we want these specific things out of Herbalife. And quite frankly, we're not ready for them. Like, you know, for example, I've said plenty of times, like, oh, yeah, press team this, press team that. And honestly, you kind of lose focus of the next level. You know what I'm saying? You're not ready for press team yet. You got to focus on the next level before you can even grow yourself into, you know, press team. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that kind of stood out to me. And honestly, the power of letting things go that's holding you back, whether that be people, certain situations, family, jobs, whatever the case may be. You know, we hold on to a lot of just junk. I'm going to just say junk food. That's what we're going to use. Junk food that's just holding us back from stepping into our greatness fully. And after that event, Sergio went up to Billy and he talked to us on the way back. And honestly, he was like, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. So we might have a new family member, and you know, on the team real soon. So that was my takeaways from the whole weekend.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Thomas. We appreciate you. Anybody else? We got a few more.
I just wanted to say we will have a new team mate on the freaking team. You better speak that into existence, boy. Stop playing.
True.
Come on now, King.
Tell him, Adrian.
My bad, y'all. This was the handsome dreadhead number 2. We're going to have a new family member on the team next week, y'all. Let's go.
That's more like it. Anybody else? Otherwise, it's going to be our turn because this liftoff almost gone. I know we got more than just those positives.
Hey, yo.
Hero.
I don't have a fancy intro like those two. It's all the time too. It's crazy. But I just wanted to say, you know, positive is you guys call. I just want to say thank you guys for opening your call up continuously for a lot of people to get on, a lot of people to get information and inspiration. Really, really appreciate that because, you know, some people don't have it. Some people choose not to take advantage of it. But this is a bonus, and I really appreciate it.
Awesome.
That's true.
Yes, very true. Thank you for that, Hero. We appreciate you, brother. Anybody else?
I'm going to share. This is Stephanie from California. So I'm just going to share. I am a hairstylist. I own a salon, and I talk about Herbalife all the time because Herbalife is life. And I had a couple of people ask me about it, and next time I come in, blah, 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 blah. So I don't ask them again once they come in again because I don't want to feel like I'm selling. But then I realized, like, the worst I can hear is no. So one of the girls was in there, and I just asked her, I was like, so are you ready? She was like, you know what? Actually, I am. Signed her up right then and there, and that just gave me a little bit more confidence. Like, the worst you could hear is no. So that's my share.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's super
true.
cool.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Latoya, did you want to go?
Hey everyone, it's Latoya from Chicago. My voice is kind of back. It was like not there yesterday. But just a few things from STS that I took away was one thing he talked about was what are you trying to create? Who are you trying to become? Choose growth over just being, and what's the payoff? So those are 4 questions that I'm just gonna really sit down and just take time to try to not really figure out, but just take time to really focus on those and put those into my everyday whys. And then another thing that I took away from was they had a panel on the stage, and I love get-togethers, gatherings, hosting. People like know that I love hosting. And so one of the couples up there, they have a club out in Joliet, Illinois. And I didn't really like the slide went so fast, but I did see like different posts, I guess like cards or whatever, of I think that they do like different parties with different themes. And so I thought that was like a cool idea to, well, when I do open a club, just host different parties with different themes just to have people there. But one thing that they did was a vision shake party. So I thought that was kind of cool to do, like do a vision board, so you can have like a vision party at the beginning of the year with different people, invite them over to get like their vision for the year, but turn it into a shake party as well. And then another one that I really, really liked was the shake and paint. And so that's something that I think I'm gonna be doing in January. I'm gonna host a shake and paint party. So just have different shakes people can sample while they're painting, have maybe different type of jello shots of shakes, or just different shake shots, shake shooters as you want to call it, as they get them from the restaurant, just so people can sample different things and we can just have a good time. So that is my takeaway from STS this weekend.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Latoya. So we're going to go ahead and stop that right now just so we can go ahead and share a few things that we got from the STS. But before we go ahead and share, I just want to do a quick recap. For one, Adrian, you are definitely going to be a great father, because what happens in Herbalife is that, like, the personal development, everybody knows, you know, the growth that we already are doing. So you're already just going to trickle that down, you know, to your little one. So I'm super fired up to see another Herba baby, you know, in the area, in the atmosphere. That's going to be awesome. Thomas, that's super dope that you got to hang out with your brother. And then it's even cooler to see, you know, have your brother see you in action. So you got a button hit, you know, and you got, you know, that kind of interaction, you know, so your brother can see, you know, what you do, you know, like right on the spot. So that's super dope. And then obviously your new guest that's about to be a new distributor is about to go down. Then also, who else was talking? Hero, we appreciate you for, you know, thanking us for opening up the call. We will continue to do that. I'm sure Steven, you know, is going to continue to do that. And if he doesn't, I'll make that happen. So, you know, that's just how it works. And then Stephanie, you know, talking to New at the salon, that's always a bigger step because once you get that yes, you know, you're looking for another yes, turn up, let's do it. And then LaToya, it's cool. I'm starting to hear, you know, in your voice, even though it's, you know, a little chopped up from being sick, that you're really ready for action, especially, you know, how you're correcting your words, that shaking and paint party is about to go down. So I can't wait to see the pictures for that. So I'm going to have Kylie share her takeaways from the STS. We got to hear Billy Grubbs, and then I'll go afterwards.
Awesome. Yeah, so I know a lot of you had shared as far as Billy Grubbs, but yesterday, that event, I'm just going to be honest, was like one of probably like the best STSs I feel like I've been to in a really long time. We were really excited to hear Billy we're all within the organization that he is in, so we've heard him speak on calls and you know how powerful he is, but like I didn't expect to like feel that much impact and power from him like we did. And it's funny you said that, Thomas, because we were like front row down there with him, but like I felt like he was talking to me the whole time. And you know when you're at events, you sometimes try and get Snapchats and stuff. Like when we were driving home, I'm like, I didn't snap anything. I didn't not that we're on our phone at events, but you know, you try and get pictures of things and like barely anything was done because I was just so involved, or we were so involved in everything he was saying. But his personal development section and the supervisor school was the two things that stand out the most as far as what he talked about. But I've never taken that many notes of personal development. It was literally like 6 pages. It was that powerful. But one thing he kept saying, like he went through like change and desire, but like he kept saying like, what do you want? And then he'd like pause and he's like, no, what do you want? And he kept saying that. And he's like, describe it in detail and like everything that you know, like you want in life and like attaching Herbalife to it. But he's like, what do you want? Like attaching emotion and like physical things and like mental things. And like he talked about like pretending you already have it, which is crazy because the other day Orlando and I were randomly talking about something and we were imagining ourselves when we are getting Pinn's Prez team. And I was like, who's going to be there? Because actually this is a side story. His aunt and uncle had graduated from college Friday night. So we were there and I was like, I wonder how much of our family are going to like be in attendance when we're Pin Prez team. Because, you know, those are even though it's way bigger than graduating college to an extent. Graduating college is amazing.
You said it.
But anyways, we were talking about it and I was like, I wonder but I was picturing us standing on stage getting Pin Prez team. I'm like, my parents will be there. And like, it like brought emotion to me because I could feel it and like that attachment was there. So anyways, he really talked about attaching those emotions to like what you want. And the other thing where he talked about change, he had like a list of myths of like what people say, what people say, like one of the myths, like it takes time to change. And you hear that of people like that you're bringing into Herbalife or people on your team, like, oh, I just need to take some time. Like that's a myth. And he's like, you can change anything that you want like in a second. So that was one major takeaway as well.
Boom. Well, that's perfect because I was going to talk about change and she just went ahead and rolled in and put it in her little, you know, share. So we good to go. So now without further ado, I'm going to introduce the guest speaker, but it's not going to be much because I want to hear, you know, most of it from him. His name is James. James, is your Piazza? Am I saying it right? So can you say it for me real quick?
It's Piazza.
Piazza. Okay. Yeah. So my man, James Piazza, Kylie and I were like, is it Piazza or Piazza? And I just, so now I know, so I thank you for that. So as you guys can see, I put out the flyer. He is currently 7.5 millionaire team as of last month. And I was trying to figure out how to kind of discreetly show to you guys like what's in the process right now. So I'm sure James noticed on the flyer.
I did notice that.
On the side of his head up top, I faintly put the pin that he's about to hit this month, qualified for this month. I faintly put it right there. So that right there alone speaks volume. So I'm just going to go ahead and zip my lips, mute myself, and let James share a little bit about himself.
I did notice that. That was pretty cool that I saw that up there. That was awesome. So he said, my name's James. I live south side of Chicago. I went to Pure Nutrition in June of last year. I actually met them off of a Facebook post. Chet put a Facebook post up about trying to lose weight and a 3-day trial and all that. So I went over there and I sat down with him for a little bit, and we just started talking about just normal stuff you talk about in life, like just how'd your day go? How's it going? I can't do this. It's kind of expensive types. Just, the normal stuff you deal with. And he actually just gave me the trial. He just gave it to me. He's like, I want you to try this. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even stick to it. Not one bit. But I went back and sat with him after you do the weigh-in for the 3-day when you come back. I went and sat with him. And I'd actually won a pool tournament the night before, so I had money to buy the product for the first month. So if I wouldn't have won the pool tournament, I would have never been started on this at all. Like, because pool is my life, and I just wasn't been able to play, and I was sitting around more. So I actually went to that tournament because I was broke. I had no money at all. Like, I think I had $6 in my name. And I won that tournament. It was like $250. And I went and I got my program. And then, I just started liking the stuff. And the hardest part for me was I was seeing results, but it wasn't good enough to me because I always felt like I was just going to fall right back off track and go downhill because it's been 4 times that I've done a diet or a lifestyle change now. I've done all of that as much as I could, and I just thought that there was nothing else I could do. And it just so happened that by luck, I ended up winning that tournament, going to meet him. It was crazy. And then I just started going with it, and people at pool started noticing. So my first month as a distributor, I sold 10,000, and 90% of it was off of pills because everybody wanted total control or cellulose and cell activate. I sold so much I sold 400 bottles of total control in 3 days. Yeah, it was ridiculous. And that gave me my 10,000 for the first month. So that's when I hit World Team. And then I was like, I should really put some more effort into this. And we started growing a little bit more. I signed up my best friend. He hit Mill Team too. So he's now Mill Team. He's just a little bit, he's a month behind me with progress. He's pretty close to me. And he was the first person I signed up. And he only signed up with me to just help me out. So I'll do this for you to help you. And then we started working together a little bit, and we just started growing a little bit more. And next thing you know, it's a month later, we get our first Get team cut. And then after that, I skipped from Get to Get 2,500. And we were just building, man. It was all from pool. I started at pool, and then I started going to businesses around my house, and I just started talking to everybody. I got into a couple insurance agencies, and then people were just signing up just because of what was going on with me. And then I got some people to start wanting to come and work at the club. So then I started building everything at my nutrition club, and we're doing pretty good. So it's it's really crazy to just sit and think about all this stuff because when you look back, sometimes you just realize how bad of a spot you were actually in, and to be able to come out of that and make something better for yourself and other people. That's the most important part out of it. That's what you get out of it, is to know that you're actually helping other people while you're helping yourself. And one of my best clients, he was 700 pounds when he started. He was 100 pounds more than me. I was 600 when I started. And I'll never forget him because he started feeling better and losing weight and getting on track to be the coolest dude ever. And then it just in a split second, it could just change, and he ended up passing away. Best client I ever had. And he wouldn't talk to nobody because he wasn't comfortable with it, but he got comfortable with me, and he started losing weight, and it was going great. And when I help people, whether they want to lose weight or gain weight or whatever they want to do, maintain, I always think of him because of how happy he actually was when you start feeling that. Because there's a certain point that when you're gaining or losing that you're going to hit that you don't want to go back to how you were before. Once you get to that point, it becomes the best thing in your life. And I didn't hit that till recently because maybe when I lost 120 or 130 pounds is when I started feeling okay, this is how it's going to be. And then I just pushed, and I'm at 215 now. My weigh-in's on Monday. Thank you. So yeah, I'm down 215 now from it. And it's the best thing that ever could have happened. You go through the worst possible thing in your life, and the best thing ever that happened to me came out of it. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And now I have my club, And I forget who, but somebody was talking about one of those parties and all that. I did paint parties at my club, and they're amazing. They are awesome. They're good to do. It's cool. Even if you don't make a lot of money off the people, you make so many friends, and they come back just because of that. Like, just, it's awesome. Do the party. Do the party. That's great. So, I mean, I'm not much of actually talker, so if anybody has questions, I feel free to ask, and it's like interview process, man. Just ask me whatever you guys want. I don't even care. I'm open for anything.
Awesome. Well, from the boxes already, I see everybody is really engaged. So we can start asking some questions. I'm gonna throw one out there, and then let's give him some energy, you guys. After my question, let's just throw them at him, because I feel, James, you feel more comfortable with that type of flow. Is that correct?
Yeah, I like asking people when they ask me questions. I know what they want to know about.
Okay, perfect. So our first question is just like, what is your day-to-day flow? Like, what was your day-to-day flow like? I know you had said you popped into like businesses, insurances, and things like that. Give us a little bit more detail of, like, you know, that those type of conversations, or, you know, how often you did that. Did you just
every day?
Yeah, so give us a little insight on that.
So every day I would find a small town or so around my area closer to my club, because that was my goal, was to build my club eventually. But when, like, I would go in, I would just talk to the receptionist or whatever, and I would say, hey, is it okay if I bring you guys lunch? And they look at you like, I was like, I have shakes, man. They're flavored like Snickers, whatever. I give them a bunch of flavors, right? So I get them all excited. And I say, just let me know how many people are here. I will make you these, and I'll bring them back to you. And that's it. I said, we'll just talk. I'll tell you what it is, and that'll be it. So I would bring the shakes. If they say no, they say no. I mean, people are going to say no. That's just what they do. So if they say no, I just move on. I went to another one, and they say yes. I bring them shakes. I tell them what the flavor is. So if somebody has a Snickers, I say, look, this is what's in it. You guys, it's less than 300 calories. This is what it tastes like. No, it's going to taste like powder. I said, well, if it tastes like powder and you don't like it, I will go make you another one until you like one. Okay. So they try it. And they actually passed a couple of them around once in a while to try the different flavors for each other. And I usually get like 2 or 3, clients out of it. Like, some of them don't stick, but I get people to try a trial after they would have the free lunch. And they would really just try it just because they're getting a free shake out of it. So I would make all this stuff at home for them, and then I would go and have it scheduled. So if I had this place at noon, I went to a State Farm agency last week. He has 3 offices. I had 3 in-services with him, and we set up times with it. I bring them lunch, and I got 3 customers that come into my club. Every day they've come in this last week for it. But before I had my club, it was just all about, hey, let's get this set up for you here. I have all this stuff. I could literally set the whole thing up for you. I would bring them the blenders. I would bring them the mixes that they need, the flavorings, everything they would need. I would bring it for them to make it easy. So you want to take the excuse away from people. And if they say, well, I can't do it with this, well, that's okay. I can. I will do this for you. Let me help you. The easiest way to do it is to just make sure that you want to show them a reason why they want to do it. Okay? Like, if they just keep giving you an excuse and you have answers for it and you don't show any, like, getting upset or anything about it, eventually they will just give in just to try, just because you're a nice person. Like, I get more of my people just because they like to talk to me. And I share my story with them a little bit, and then they like, oh, I'm inspired. I want to do this. I said, well, let's do it. I will help you. I have Zoom calls all the time with clients that are all over the place. And it all started just because I decided to go into a couple businesses. And then I went and I was more towards like Orland Park and all this stuff, like bigger cities around my area now. And I got Wintrust has a couple accounts, so to speak, set up with me. They order every month for their place. They're one of their offices. They have like a floor of bankers. They have their whole thing for it. They set up. I gave them the blenders. I did everything for them. They have that set up. And then I have State Farm. He has a couple offices. There's 2 that he orders every month for his people. And then I have a couple that come to the club that have actual memberships with me at my club that they just come in and the boss pays for their shakes every day. So they come in and they get their shakes all the time for their breakfast or lunch, whatever they do, and he pays for it. So that's how I got going with that. It's just mostly, I just went to businesses everywhere. Everything you can imagine I went to. I even went into bars to try to find people. Like, anything that I could do to drop something off to get them to just talk to me for a minute is all I needed, and they would eventually, hopefully, try. So.
Awesome. Wow. We taking notes, y'all? Can I get a head nod from some? Okay. All right. Super cool. I'm gonna open up the floor. So does anybody else have a question?
Yo, I say yo.
You're late.
I think I beat you.
You're not. You don't beat me. That's not how this works. I was first. Not first, you last. Ricky Bobby, turn up. All right. So we hear how you you get clients. I think that's super dope. I was just telling people sometimes you just actually have to go out and just talk to people. That's the easiest thing. But let's talk about this. I think you were in the magazine for 3 pin changes, right?
Right.
Let's not beat around the bush here. Let's talk about this because we need to understand how somebody goes from 20 to now 150,000 royalties that fast. It's crazy. You know, you kind of skipped over it. You're like, oh yeah, my friend signed up and he got the meal team. And but we need to know.
We'll get the, yeah. All right. So when I signed him up, it was just to help me out, like to get something going, like your friend just helping you with something. But he was at the opposite end of the spectrum as me. He needed to gain weight while I needed to lose weight. So like we kind of helped each other based on what he was getting clients that were more for what he does, while I was getting a lot more people that were comfortable with talking to me about how they were about their weight because I went through it with them. I'm going through it with them. So we kind of just built a big organization and a bunch of clients up together because he would go out with me the same days when we would go. We would spend 4 or 5 hours a day in these towns just going into these different businesses. We would he had a job, but he didn't. It was a very good job. He worked for the railroad. So he had a very, very good job. And he started doing this with me and was making a little bit of money. And probably 6 months ago, he was actually able to quit it. So he doesn't work there. No, he straight does this all the time now. You know, it's every day. It's not a 5-day thing for us. It's not a 4. It's 7 days. Every day we're doing something with it because I got sick once and I wasn't able to do much for a month. And the minute that I got sick, you could just see stuff dipping. And I don't like that because everybody that I work with, I do it because I want to help them. Okay, like I'm helping myself at the same time I'm trying to help them. I don't make everything about making money I do it because I want people to be as healthy and happy as they can be. And the changing the life with him is what kind of drove him more to want to do it. So he started growing really quickly at pool tournaments, and he would start doing the same thing that I did. And he was going out all the time, and he started growing. And it only took him a month and a half to get to world team. So he was doing it just as quick as I was. And we stuck with the same thing. It worked. So we didn't change anything. We just taught that to everybody else. And I don't go for preferred members as much. I go more for people that want to be distributors and then want to make some sort of extra money for themselves. The preferred members, I just get them to come in the club. They get used to it. And then I get them to be a distributor because they want the 50% discount because, you know, that's awesome. And they will eventually see that they can make a few bucks with it. And I spend a lot of time with each person. Like I don't sign 5, 6, 7 people up when I can. I sign one person up and I spend weeks with them. And I take the time to get them on their feet. I go to a couple businesses with them. I help them get their first clients. And then when they start being a little more comfortable, then I go and I have another person that's ready to sign up and ready to do it. So then I work with them the same way. I teach them the Tanita scale. I teach them how to talk to the people. I show them how to be sincere because that's how you're really going to make money. If you want to make money, you just be yourself. You be sincere. You be happy. And, you know, you just talk to people. Be real. Don't bullshit them. Don't talk to them about something that they don't know about. Just don't try to make it sound better than what it is. Just tell them what it is. You know, and for me, the easiest part is, well, it works for me. It might not work for you, but if you're willing to try, I will work with you and we can give it the best shot we can. They can't say no to that because if they're on the fence, they're like, oh, well, you know, what's the worst thing that can be? And I give out 3-day trials like there's no tomorrow. I don't charge people for them. If they want to get on the fence, they're on the fence about doing, here, take it, try it. You know, and if they don't want to come into the shop, I sit on a call with them and they weigh themselves and we just keep track of their weight because that's all they want to do. And that's what we go over. I had one guy came in, he comes in all the time now, and he started because he saw my Facebook post and he talked to Rob and he was trying to gain weight and he saw that. So we work together so much and we pass that on to every other person in our organization, my lines, his line, everything. And it just, if they stick with the way we do things, it works great. They do wonderfully. So we have a same system. Everybody sticks to the same system. You know, we talk all the time like this. We have calls like this all the time too. You know, it's great. They're awesome. Like you guys do that is amazing. It's awesome. I would never stop these. And I got onto one of these and seen that how it like helps you so much to stay close with your team, and then everybody's happy. And if somebody's not, you can help that person out, and everybody helps everybody. And that's how we just expanded, and it just blew up so quick for it. And then so
awesome. Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yo, I say yo. I beat everybody, man. Get back. So, first of all, my first question is, when did you hit World Team?
In June, my first month when I signed up at the end of May, and I didn't start selling till June of last year, 2016. So I hit World Team that month.
Perfect. That's when I believe I met you. You were going on stage for
World. I remember that. Yeah.
So I remember you saying something, and you just hinted on it now, about you do something around 43-day trials a month.
Yeah, it's like double that now.
Just like, and like you said, you hinted on it a minute ago, but if they're interested or they're on the fence, here, take a 3-day trial. That's no matter what for you every month?
Yeah, no matter. If I'm short and I see that I'm not, I'll just go to people and give them out and say, like, just try this, you know, because I have a lot of people around that want to do something. This is a very health conscious town. It's a small town, but it's very health conscious. So people are, one, they don't like spending money. So when you give them something, they see that like, oh, this guy's pretty cool. I'm going to try his shop. So I give them their 3-day trial, but then, you know, they come right back into the shop. So if I don't pass out all the trials I want to get rid of for the month, I'll go, there's a gaming cafe right by me. I'll go there and give people some. There's a laundromat right by me. I'll go there and give them some. I'll go into the 7-Eleven. Like, I'll go everywhere and just give them to people because I want to get those trials out there because they all have my business card in them. They all have the information for the club. So even if they don't come, eventually somebody will come from off of them. So trials, I get them out as much as possible.
Gotcha. My last question is, what was your hardest pin change and what helped you overcome that so far?
This is the hardest one. Honestly, this is the hardest one because when I started it, this is actually the second time I've almost qualified. I had 2 cuts before. At the same time I was qualifying for Mill Team, and I got sick, and I missed my last one by maybe 12,000 volume. So I would have already been on President's Team now if I wouldn't have got sick, but I got sick. So everything just went down a little bit because I wasn't as interactive with everybody. So I couldn't help them as much as, you know, they needed. If they had questions and stuff, it was kind of like I just abandoned them, so to speak, but I got really sick and I was laid up for the month. So I went from 199,000 down to like 60 because it just got so bad that I wasn't talking to anybody. I was sick for a whole month, like the whole month. But this one has definitely been the hardest because it's nonstop. It is so much work, but the benefit that comes from it, from everything, is what makes it all worth it. Like, to get tired and you just sit there and think a minute about how many people you're actually helping. You're helping people make money. You're helping people get healthy. You might be helping somebody that is, you know, bad shape with overweight or underweight, and you could help them, you know, fix stuff at home. Like, they could have a better life at home just by coming to visit you. So that's when they come in, I make them feel like they're like my parents or my brother or my sister. You know, that's all I do. That's the best part of it. But this is definitely the hardest one.
Any other questions? I know we got some more. Adrian, yep. Come on.
All right, hold up, because I haven't heard this not once since he started speaking. Do you even go to events?
I did for a while. I haven't had time to go to the STSs recently. I haven't had time. I can't put my business on hold, man. It's tough. Like, to get this high and to keep the momentum going for everybody just takes so much time that when you have a chance to have a few minutes, like, you have to take it. Like, you still have to have time for yourself. And trust me, I'd love to go to events. Like, I'm starting in the kickoff again. I'm going to try to go every month for a year. That's one of my resolutions for it. But I wanted to make sure everything was done right and everybody was getting the help that they needed and everything was going good. So I just focused more on that, because after I missed my president's team the first time, I didn't want that to happen again. So everything was on the back burner except my own weight loss journey. But everything else I put everything aside because I needed to get this cut, because it was my goal. When I started in June, I told my president's team upline that in a year, maybe a year and a half, that I was going to be president's team. And that was my goal, because they told me that there was a guy that did it in a year and a couple months or something. And I was like, I want to be with that guy. That's what I want. And then that's what we started on. That was the focus. My phone's had the president's team logo as the background since I started. I haven't changed it.
I got another one. I beat everybody to it again. So, what does your org look like? I know you said you got somebody that's on Mill team, and then you mentioned Get team. I think when I met you again, you had told me that you had literally about 20 people in your org, and they were all supervisor and above. What does your org look like now?
Right now I have 52, I think. Yeah, 52 people probably. I have at least 35 world team. I have the Mill team. I have 3 Get team. And Rob will actually probably be president's team by the middle of the year. That's our goal. Next goal is to get him to president's team by the middle of the year. And I got everybody in my organization is a supervisor unless they just signed up. Like, I don't have anybody that isn't yet. Knock on wood. I don't want to jinx myself, but knock on wood, everybody that signs up with me, they tend to stick with it, because that's why I spend a lot of time with them, because I don't want them just to sign up and be like, oh, I'm not doing this no more. I'd sign them up because I want them to stick with it. So I put a lot of time into the people. If that's to get to the next level, that's what you want to do. You want to spend more time with your people than getting your own clients, because your people are the ones that they're doing it all. They're the ones busting their ass every day just as much to do their 5,000-10,000, while that helps you a lot. So those are the ones you want to make do it all. You know, you want to help them as much as possible.
Right. See, I think that's pretty dope. That if what it looks like right now is when you going into it with a diamond, pretty much, because you're gonna have a press team under you right then and there. That's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, a couple months after that, probably he'll hit it. That's our goal, at least.
That's cool.
Hey James, can you're off? Can you put your video back on by chance? I think you hit it on accident.
Hold on.
It's on. I think it was yours, Orlando.
Oh, there we go.
Is that we good?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right, awesome.
Was it off this whole time?
No, just for like 2 minutes.
Oh, all right.
Adrian, did you have another question?
Well, it was something that I noticed, and I've noticed you're totally flooded in the work and action than you are anything else. You barely go to events to learn anything, it sounds like, because you're so engaged to the action, which is super dope. Because, like, at the end of the day, it does take action. But that's what I'm noticing with you, and that's what makes you as awesome as you are, because your action is, like, impeccable, bro. This don't make no doggone sense.
I appreciate that.
I can only imagine what happened. Matter of fact, I don't even want to do that. You keep doing what you're doing. It's working. It's working. I ain't saying nothing. Do whatever you're doing, bro.
I got a question. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. What's up, James, man? Thank you for being on this call. This Hero Currently Millionaire team. So with your 400 the 400 total control that you actually distributed the first month and the first 3 days, you said, like, what were you saying to people in order to, like, what was your mindset behind getting off the total control?
So when I started with my trial, after that, when I got on my program, I was just using the stuff. I wasn't even thinking about selling it. I just signed up because I wanted a discount at the time because I didn't think I was going to have any money anyways. So I was like, I need this discount. I got the money. I need to get this discount. So that was the only reason I didn't even have any intentions on it. But I went to pool and they started noticing, like, when I lost like 20 pounds, the first 20 pounds, everybody started noticing that I was like a little more upbeat. I was more myself than normal. Like I was more like outgoing and everything. So they asked what I was doing. I was like, I take this and it's called total control, you know? And I started having a little more success. And like I dropped a lot of weight pretty quick in the beginning. So a lot of people noticed more pretty quick that I was doing a change. And that's what it was. I was like, this is what I take. Cause I wasn't taking anything else at the time. It was just total control and shakes. Like I wasn't into anything else yet. Cause my mindset was still, this ain't going to work anyway. So I'm just going to try a little bit. You know, so like that's where I was at. But when I started people saying, oh man, you look great, I'm like, oh, now they're just saying it to be supportive and all that. I just stopped thinking a little bit negative, and the next thing you know, everybody started buying the stuff that I was using. I was selling shake canisters of cookies and cream to people like there was no tomorrow, and then the total control, like people were buying 3-4 bottles at a time. Like, but when I go to places, like when I tell you I was at a pool tournament, I've seen probably 25 to 30,000 people there. Like there was a lot of people. So it wasn't like 10, 15 people. I did it in a week while I was in Vegas at a pool tournament. And there's thousands of people at this thing. And I'm pretty good at pool. So a lot of people know me. So they would all like see that I look a little different to them, but I don't notice the difference. But to them, you know, they see something, and that's how it all started. It was at pool. I was in Vegas and we were playing, and everybody just kept using my square, and I just kept having to ship and stuff to them. And I was sitting at my tournament, and people are like, dude, let me get some of that. And I would have some with me. I was like, dude, try it. Let me know how you feel later. And like, I feel that it helps. And then they just start buying it. Like, it was basically, my whole first month was basically just off my results. That's really all it was. I can't even lie. It was basically just because of how I was doing. I didn't really take the time to look into it much until after I realized that the potential of how healthy I'll be and the amount of income you can make with it. And that's what really pushed it all off.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. And if I can ask another question, I don't know if the leadership on the call let me do it. Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, it's a 2-part question. One, what does your nutrition club numbers look like? 2, like what can you further walk me through, like, what you'll do to set up a business when you go in there and you're like, hey, you know, this is what I'm going to provide for you guys?
Okay, so my club, when I opened January 2nd last year, or this year, January 2nd this year. And I was doing, in the beginning, like 35 to 40 or so a day. And I got up to like 60 in the middle of the year, but now I'm at 85 to 90, depending on the day now, because when it's cold, so it kind of varies a little bit. Like the other day it was like 50 degrees and I almost hit 100. I haven't hit 100 yet, but I got over 90. So it really, right now it just depends on the weather, but I'd say average for the year is like 75 or so is where I'm at right now. And when I go into businesses, I just go in there and talk to a secretary, whoever's there, and I just talk to them and say, hey, let me bring you guys lunch. And they say, what is lunch? And then I say, well, it's our shakes, our meal replacement. I'll bring you a tea and a shake and maybe a lift off or something if they're just, you know, they're sitting there and they're like tired to try the lift off or something. So I would always just bring them stuff. If they say no, you just go to the next one. Like there's so many businesses out there that are like office style. You could get into anything and you'll run into a lot of people that are going to tell you no because they think it's shitty because it's the powder. Okay, you know what? Just fine. Stay here. You know, you want to try a shake? That's fine. If not, here's my card. This is my club. Stop in sometime if you want. I'll give you a free wellness evaluation. And then you just go and move on. You're going to hear no a lot. I think I hear way more than I hear yes at those places. But when you get the yes, it feels good because you see the people, how happy they are that they're like, wow, these are really good. And they don't judge it anymore. And that's what it is when you realize that no is going to be said so many times. As long as you don't focus on it, you will do fine. You will do great. The product speaks for itself, especially if you have your own results for anything, whatever it is, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, gaining 5 or losing 5. It doesn't matter. Any results you have will help you. And just to show that you're passionate about it, you'll get everything you want out of this company. It's crazy.
And you spoke about like setting the place up with blenders and stuff like that. What did you mean exactly?
I have bought blenders for businesses that don't have like break room type stuff like that. Like they just have a break room with nothing in it. I bought blenders from Walmart, and when I go to place, they say, "Oh, we don't have blenders. We don't have this." I said, "It's okay. I have extras. I got them from Walmart. They were cheap. It's fine. If you want to take these, you can put them in and you'll use them. It's fine. I want you guys to get this here because I really think you guys could benefit from it." And then I tell them that if you want, I'll come back next week and we can do evaluations on everybody again that wants to take part in it, and we could keep track of everything. And I say, you don't have to come to the club or anything. We could do everything you want here. We can make it as comfortable as possible for everybody. You know, like that's what I would do. If they don't want to come to the club, I bring it to them. I bring my stuff to them. I try to take every possible excuse out of the book for them because I just want them to try it because they will like it.
Beautiful. Thank you, man.
Awesome. Thank you for that, James. Does anybody else have any other questions by chance? Going once.
I got one more, my man, James. So in the flyer, you got that shadow of that Prez team pen right there, man. So give me a ETA when you hit, my man.
It's gonna happen this month.
That next month?
This month will be my last cut.
Holy snaps, dog! That's amazing.
Yeah, we're actually already past the 200,000 mark. So.
I'm speechless over here.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good month for me. It's ridiculously crazy. I can't imagine how all this stuff goes. Like, I still wake up every day thinking about like how this actually just happens, and all the hard work you put in just makes it pay off. Every day is worth it, man. It's just so worth it.
Wow. Okay, James, I got a question.
Yeah.
I think everybody's thinking it. I'm gonna ask just one question, and then usually like in your like story, when people are telling stories, they say this, and then they got some at the end, and I'm gonna leave it open. But what was your first Herbalife check?
My first
very first.
$97.
Very awesome.
97. I will never forget that because I was the happiest man alive for that $97. I will never forget it. And then the next one was $212. So I was way more excited for that. And then it just kept going from there. Like, it was crazy.
That's amazing.
It was awesome.
Nice. Does anybody else have any other questions? Did you get a check last month?
Yeah, my the one that I got on November, or this one for the December 15th for November was $13,000, and then the bonus was $5,000, so it was $18,000 for the month.
Oh!
Thank you for casting that vision.
Woo!
Awesome.
It's ridiculous, man. Like, I'm telling you guys, don't stop, man. You guys are awesome. Don't stop, for real. Like, I told you before, I see your Facebook stuff and all that, dude. Don't stop doing that, man. You guys are great. Like, you guys have this awesome thing going on, and like, people will follow you. It will happen. Just look forward. Don't look at any of the bullshit that goes on in the background. Don't look at anything. Don't let none distract you. Just keep going, man. You guys are gonna do great. I can see it, and I am gonna come visit you guys. Like, as soon as Christmas is over, I'm coming up there because I need to see this club.
Thank you. We appreciate you, my man. Well, awesome. Like, so the vision is casted. Thank you guys all for, staying on the call. Thank you, James, for, providing us with your story. A lot of people, some may have not even known of you, especially people that are not in the Midwest, but right. now they know you. So that's what's awesome. if you guys have any other questions for James, any thank yous, I'm sure he wouldn't mind. Actually, I know he does not mind, you know, having people shoot him a message, because he's a very, as you guys can see, a very kind, friendly guy. And, you know, he's out there to help, you know, help us all. Team Herbalife all the way, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and unmute. Kylie's going to unmute everybody, because I'll be messing this part up. We're going to unmute everybody and just to say goodnight and our thank yous, and then we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I say no. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.